Hello, I'm Carl Brown. Welcome to Growing Pains, taking your business to the next level. Today's program will focus on the Small Business Development Centers, otherwise known as SBDCs, which provide a vast array of technical assistance to small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs. By supporting business growth, sustainability, enhancing the creation of new business entities, the SBDCs foster local and regional economic development through job creation and retention. My guest today is Henry Turner with the Small Business Technology Development Center. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you, Carl.
Thanks for being on Growing Pains.
Glad to do it.
So, Henry, why don't you tell us what this SBDTC Center does?
I will. We're a national program funded by Congress and the SBA. There's 63 centers around the country, mostly at state universities. So here in Maryland, it's at the University of Maryland College Park. Okay. And then we have 6 regional centers that all are like hubs off of the College Park location. We do free business counseling to business owners and those people thinking they want to go into business.
Okay.
And we also do a lot of workshops, training, exercises, helping people grow their businesses.
So you work with post-startups, pre-startups?
The whole gamut.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. My title here in Maryland is Strategic Business Advisor.
Okay.
So I help folks focus on strategically growing their businesses. We have folks that are CPAs that help them with the financing and looking at the technical stuff on the financial side. A lot of people are technicians. They're good at doing the technical work, and they want to start a business, and we try and get them to become managers and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of workshops that focus on entrepreneurial development.
Well, let's dive down a little bit and talk specifically about what types of workshops you offer.
Great. Let me tell you what the premier one we have is for people doing about $500,000 or more in sales. They've been in business 3-4 years. They're ready to go, as you said in the introduction, go to the next level. And so we try and help them. It's called CEO Accelerator.
Okay.
And it's a 12-week program. The facilitator works on specific information that entrepreneurs need to know.
Okay.
Not the technical stuff, but how do you run a business and grow it? We've had people in there with $17 million businesses that now want to go to 34. So we work on what is the lifestyle. Our mantra is you work on your business and not in it.
Okay.
So we try and get them to see from the 30,000 foot level. Then we do workshops like how do you start your business? And it's called Smart Start. We have an attorney there, an accountant. We have insurance folks there, and they try and help the people starting their business on getting the information. You know, how do you register your business? How do you set up your books? Then we do specific workshops like QuickBooks.
Okay.
People have bought QuickBooks, found that it's very difficult, so we bring them in, and we have workshops in Bowie, and we'll bring in trainers that know QuickBooks. We'll train them how to set it up, how to use it, and what to get out of it.
So is there any fees associated with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, you got to invest in your business.
That's right.
Yeah.
The CEO Accelerator, we try to get sponsorships to underwrite the cost, and so it depends upon what we get for underwriters. The workshops, the Smart Start, the other workshops are kind of like $50.
Okay.
I do one about 8A and why you should become 8A or not become 8A.
Okay.
What it takes to become 8A, and we've expanded it to include the Maryland Department of Transportation certifications and the Maryland DC Minority Supplier Council certifications. Okay. So explain 2-phase workshop. The first phase is please consider if you want to be certified. The second one is how do you become certified? Okay. And we'll walk them through the certification process. You've referred people to me to help them work on their We've found that a lot of folks will apply for 8A especially, get rejected, and just go away angry and not know why. So I'm trying to get them to come into me, and I will help them figure out what's wrong.
So let's dive down into that. What are some of the common mistakes when they're going after 8A that?
Not supplying their tax returns.
Okay.
SBA has a criteria called critical success factors.
Yes.
And they will look at, is this business going to be successful in the 8A program? So you have to demonstrate that, yes, we've been successful for 3-4 years. We've been sold to the government, we've made a profit, we have money in the bank, we have an accountant, we have an attorney, we're successful. If you've just been in business for half an hour, then you can't prove that.
Right.
And so
yeah,
they
no
want
track record.
no track, and so they want to see that you have a track record, that you can be successful. The government work is difficult. The paperwork is extraneous. So I try to get people to do subcontracting.
Yes.
Don't be a prime right away. Get 80 certified, but try and get some contracts with the big guys, so that you learn how to handle it.
Yeah, and one of the easy ways to find out who's doing business with the agency is just go on FedSpend and you can find out.
Yes,
or
yeah.
you have any other websites?
No, we hand them off after they're certified to our sister group called PTAP,
Okay.
and that's Procurement Technical Assistance Program.
Okay.
And I think you know Denise.
Yes.
And PTAP, their function is to help folks on the procurement side.
Okay.
How do you find those contracts? How do you track the history? So I hand them off after that. I still work with them on the business plan, the strategic plan. We've had 8A PTAP clients in CEO Accelerator. So we work both sides,
Okay.
becoming an entrepreneur, but growing this business, but getting the business.
So for a relatively small cost,
Right.
they get a lot of training coming to you guys.
Yes. And my counseling is free.
Okay, so the counseling
The
is
counseling's
free.
free. They can come to me if someone says, gee, I need a lot of assistance for my strategic plan. I've had one woman come in once a week for 5 months working on his strategic plan. And then she went off and started their business. So they can come in as often as they want. It's free. We'll sit there and give them some
Okay.
homework.
So let me ask you, is it prudent for them to already start their business plan, their strategic plan, and marketing plan before they come in, or come in first, get some pointers?
If they're in business, I try to get them to send me anything they've written about the business. And then I can kind of get a sense and give them some feedback. I do a lot of it on email.
Okay.
If they've never been in business, my mantra to when I was a leader in the program was, if they've never eaten in a restaurant, never worked in a restaurant, never owned anything, never managed anything, but they want to start a restaurant on Monday, then I walk them through what it takes to start a business.
Okay.
And we really tell them to slow down, back off. I had a woman tell me one time how in her home country, all she had to do was cook the food and put it on a table in front of her house. And I said, we don't work that way.
It's a little different here.
A little different.
A little
here.
different.
Yeah. And so you want the government to give you a liquor license. You want the Board of Health to approve you. All these things after.
So I like that. So if I came into the center, I've been in business 2 years. I got a pretty good track record on the local side.
Right.
I've been selling to the local government. Have done some commercial business, and I come into you guys. I have a draft of a business plan. What steps do you take me through?
The first step I ask people is why they're in business.
Okay.
And what do they want out of the business? A lot of people want to tell me about the service. They'll tell me, we have this great idea. We're IT. I know how to produce this and manage this, and I find that a lot of them, as I said, are technicians.
Yes.
So they're doing billable hours.
Okay.
And so they're so busy being billed, they don't have time to grow their business. So I ask them, what do they want? Do you have a 401k? Well, not yet. How about the kids' college fund? Nah. So we look at those things. This is what I want out of the business. I want to earn a salary. I want to put money in the bank for the kids. I want to put money in the bank for my retirement. Okay, now you've got goals. And so then the plan is how we're going to achieve those goals. And if you can't achieve them in the plan, then we really need to back off and look at other avenues.
Okay.
But having the goals helps
Now,
you.
what are those other avenues?
Maybe you want to downsize.
Okay.
If you have a lot of people out there, you're not making money on their overhead, then maybe you want to look at charging different prices or working other things, but getting to your goals,
Okay.
making some money. I've had people come in who are making, $40,000, but their subcontractors, their employees are making 90, 80, 100. Now why are you making? Well, I need to pay them. So that's not really economically sound for the entrepreneur.
No, you're not going to sustain yourself doing
Right,
that.
yeah. You might as well go work for them.
Go work for your employees.
That's right, yeah. We have a lot of folks who have 1099 contractors.
Yes.
So they're not really using employees. They're not developing any sustainable business.
Okay.
And then they'll tell me they want to sell it for $1 million in 10 years. Well, if you don't have employees, you don't have assets, there's nothing to buy in 10 years.
Right.
So you need to work on, so that's what I'm talking about, other avenues. How are we going to make this business viable?
So what are some of the common mistakes you see when folks come in?
Some of my research has shown that people are underfunded.
Yes.
They started the business with not enough capital, not enough cash, or they're overfunded. They've taken too much debt.
Okay.
And they can't sustain the debt that they've taken on.
Right.
So they can't pay back everyone they owe. We don't see a lot of investment, so they don't go to their rich friends and say, you know, Carl, I'm starting this business. I need $40,000 from 3 friends.
Okay.
You know, and then they've got $120,000 they've invested in the business. Rather, they'll go to the bank, use home equity, and take the money for that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's been a challenge. Then.
Financing and funding is a big challenge.
Okay.
Understanding the market is another challenge. We have a group in San Antonio, Texas, the national SBDC. There's about 2,000 of us in the national program. And we have this resource in San Antonio. They'll do market research for us. So I can contact them and say, my client has this kind of business. This is where he's going to be located. And they'll do all kinds of market research. Who's buying? What are the trends? What are the finances? Okay. What's the industry doing?
Well, let's talk about that when we come back. We'll talk about some of the pitfalls that businesses fall into. Stay tuned for more Growing Pains when we return.
Number one is that there's free loan money out there for women, minorities, left-handed.
Prince George's Community College isn't just a place that offers more than 200 academic, workforce development, and continuing education programs. It's the first step toward the career of your dreams. It's a community of people who want you to succeed. It's where degrees are earned and potential is realized. Apply and register today. Call 301-336-6000. Prince George's Community College, transforming lives.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. I'll teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
All right, listen, we all need a little nudge sometimes. I don't function without coffee in the morning, but it is gonna take more than a double mochaccino to help you here.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero oír. Danny, no lo puedo hacer. Quiero oír. Danny, lo voy a hacer.
DMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs, just keeping it real.
Louder, louder, I'm gonna get my GED, come on, get your GED. Hey.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to Growing Pains as we continue our discussion with Henry Turner from the Small Business Technology Development Center. Henry, before we went on break, we were talking about some of the pitfalls, but I want to clear up a myth that's out there, if it is a myth indeed. A lot of people have come to me and said, well, the SBA will give you a grant to start your business. Is that true?
That's myth number 2. I quickly said myth number 1 is that there's free loan money out there for women, minorities, left-handed people. You know.
Okay. Okay.
So everyone is looking for that free money. The grants are another function of that free money myth. There are no grants. The grants go to nonprofit businesses.
Okay.
So your program is probably a grant.
It is.
The SBTDC is a grant from the federal government.
Okay.
It goes to businesses that are doing something for the community, nonprofits or universities. It's not for a business that's trying to make a profit and make the owner rich.
Okay.
There's no purpose to the government to make somebody rich. Now, there are grants for programs if you are hiring felons, ex-cons.
Okay.
There are programs to help them in work release. So sometimes you'll get tax benefits for that, but there are no direct grants to businesses.
Now, I've heard that there were some other different types of tax credits that people should look at,
Yeah, they have to be doing serious business, sizable business, to get those tax credits. There are some that large businesses can trade off to the community. Like Prince George's might take advantage of some tax credits from large businesses and then pass them on to a small business.
Okay.
But it's not really beneficial unless you're really doing a profitable business. And it just reduces your tax obligation.
So going back to some of the challenges.
I should say I'm not an accountant, so.
Okay. That disclaimer there. But going back to some of the challenges that outside of funding, what are some of the other challenges that prohibit the real rapid growth that a lot of these entrepreneurs think they're going to get?
Not understanding competition.
Okay.
We were talking about 8A earlier.
Yes.
And I occasionally hear from folks who want to go on 8A in their IT.
Okay.
There's a lot of IT firms.
On Schedule 70?
Yeah. And they don't differentiate themselves. They don't understand that there's probably 80 other companies out there. When I was in 8A, there were only 3 companies per industry in the country.
Okay.
Now, just DC has the largest portfolio of 8A firms. So they don't understand that there's competition out there. They don't differentiate themselves. Many do, but the ones who are not making it, the ones who don't differentiate themselves, they don't stand out. The government looks at their portfolio and doesn't understand why they should buy from them.
Right.
We're working on a program right now called Boots to Business.
Okay.
And it's for retiring military personnel.
Okay.
So a lot of them, that's their advantage. That's their uniqueness, that they're military personnel. And so some government agencies are saying, okay, we'll buy from them.
Okay.
So they need to have a unique purpose, something that makes them stand out to either government, or even commercial. You go to Starbucks because you know they'll have your favorite.
Right.
As opposed to Henry's coffee shop.
Right. Right. Until you build up a following.
Can I afford to compete with Starbucks?
Not really.
And that's what a lot of them don't understand. Right. So we get a lot of folks who want to start a coffee shop down the street from Starbucks. So you have to understand who's competing with you. There was a book out years ago, I'm not sure if it's still in print, called Swimming with Sharks.
I heard of it.
And people don't understand that the other businesses are not going to stand by
No.
and let you open up a business that's going to compete with them and take customers away. Our research says that up until about 2008, the American population was spending $1.20 for every dollar they earned. Now it's 80 cents because they're paying off that debt that they incurred. Yes. They're trying to save money. So people aren't spending like they used to. So if you're going to start a business, you have to understand why people should come to you and not go to your competition.
And do you guys teach marketing there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The man I work under is a marketing person. Used to work for Fast Facts, understands markets and what the big guys have done. Okay. And we translate that down to what our clients can do. I was saying earlier, we have a location in Texas that does the market research. You know, how many people are out there? So if you're going to put your coffee shop in Largo, you know, who else is selling coffee in Largo?
Right.
How many people live there? How many people come to the average coffee shop? And what do they spend? So you need to understand that as part of your marketing.
So is this market research available to the vendors, the companies that are coming to you?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so that's an added benefit.
We have to request it.
Okay.
Part of our budget is taken out and paid for the people in Texas.
Okay.
But the clients come in and we do that research. Yeah.
So that fits in with their marketing plan then,
right.
because then they could tell you how many people, the total demographic information.
A lot of times I saw it when I was teaching at Howard and when I was with my private clients and my SBDC clients. They will make a statement, you know, $14 million was spent on coffee last year. Well, how much was spent in Largo?
Right.
How much was spent, you know,
right.
How much did the household income spend last year in that neighborhood? So you have to understand, a lot of people will see the paper and get the macro numbers,
right.
but we're trying to get them to focus on the micro. What's happening in your neighborhood?
Right, because your clientele base is going to be 1 to 5 miles
right.
from where you are.
And that's what part of this research says is how it's called drive analysis.
Okay.
How far will people drive for this service, for this product? So I have a client that has 5 daycares, and she has been able to strategically set them up away from each other just at the limit of each drive time.
Okay.
So that, you know, parents rushing off to work can get to one of her daycare centers.
So people are coming in, utilizing the center, and then building profitable businesses.
We hope so, yeah. And I'm a consultant, and I sarcastically tell them that as a consultant, I will tell you what works.
Okay.
You have to implement it.
Right, right. Same thing when you go to see the doctor.
Right.
He says get more exercise, eat right, get some sleep, you know. Yeah. It's up to you.
It's up to you, yeah, yeah. We have a lot of folks who apply for loans, get turned down. So we have a good relationship with bankers.
Okay.
The banker will look at their loan application and say they're missing 4 or 5 pieces of information, so they refer them back to us.
Okay.
So there are 20 some odd of us in Maryland, and we try to work up a relationship with the bankers so the bankers know who we are, what our specialties are, and we get to know the bankers also, so we interact with them. We just opened up, I'm trying to think of Historic Business Center, Hispanic Business Center.
Okay.
And we're going to have locations throughout Maryland with Spanish-speaking counselors.
Okay.
And the one woman we had was so overwhelmed with the Spanish population, business owners, that they saw a need, and so we created the center for Hispanic business owners to come in, meet with a Spanish-speaking. Their frustration was trying to speak to an English speaker like me
right.
about business, and I'm telling them technical stuff about business management, and it just wasn't working.
It wasn't translating.
She was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So we now have 3 people that can Spanish natives and can talk and understand our.
Now, is that the one that's in Silver Spring?
There's one. We had a grand opening in Silver Spring.
Okay.
There's one in Wheaton, and there's going to be a person in College Park.
Okay. So you're spreading out.
We're over the entire. They will cover the entire state.
Okay.
Because we have centers all over the state, anyways. They can go to one of those state centers and meet the client there.
Okay. And that's how we, you know, meet our clients.
Right.
Have to be where they are. Yeah. So let's go in and talk about what are some of the successes that you guys have seen coming through the center.
Again, I've worked in the Boston, Mass Center, the Washington Center, and here in Maryland. So I've had successes in various industries. I've had people start potato chip companies, pita bread companies. I've had hairdressers, hair salons, nail salons. Probably my successful one here is the woman with the 5 daycares. She is. We've worked with her from being one of the teachers to being the entrepreneur.
And you know, I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of times people think that the SBDC, or in your case, the SBTDC, only helps IT, construction, or business management companies.
No, we're business management, so the technical side is up to the client.
Okay.
I couldn't tell them the technical side, but I can tell them the management side.
Right.
So we have homework for them. We have research books. We'll tell them how to become better entrepreneurs. The book we're working with a lot this past couple of years is the E-Myth.
Okay.
And so his philosophy is that you become a better entrepreneur and stop it. You can hire technicians.
Okay.
So I've decided that there are a different breed of entrepreneurs. I have many family members that are self-employed.
Okay.
So
right, self-employed is different from
yeah, they're the one person that's running their business.
Right.
It's a job for them.
Right.
They don't want to have employees. They don't want to worry about. They run it as a business, but they're the only. They're self-employed.
Well, we're about to go out and end the segment. So, what kind of pearls of wisdom can you drop on our audience about starting a business or being in business?
I think I said it earlier that my philosophy is you work on your business and not in it, and that you look at the business as if it were your technical product or service, and how you develop that and how you work on that. And we try and get them to focus on what's in it for them in starting this business.
Okay. Well, Henry, thank you for
Thank
being
you for
on
having
the
me.
show.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us today. We will see you next time as we continue to help you take your business to the next level. To find out more information about the CMBD Accelerator Program, call us at 301-583-5205 or visit our website at www.cmbd.biz.